Hey guys, I've been wanting to make this video for a little bit of time, but I wanted to make sure I had as much information as I could possibly have about this Philips Respironics recall. So here's my thoughts on the Philips Respironics recall. I really think Philips Respironics knew there was a problem well in advance of releasing the DreamStation 2. It was very convenient that they released the DreamStation 2, and about the same week they mentioned, there might be a recall on the previous model of the regular DreamStation. Pretty much every machine prior to that, I think they knew about it. And why do I say that? Reason being is they had the DreamStation 2. Every model prior to that is using the exact same polyurethane foam, that thick black foam. They used it in every machine with the exception of this, the M series. They use that same foam. All of a sudden the DreamStation 2 comes out that exact week. They say there might be a problem with this other machine and all other devices. It magically does not use that same sound abatement or sound dampening foam in the actual internal components, the air that you're breathing, it's going through that foam. They finally, that's the one machine, they just, hey, we don't use it all of a sudden anymore. Yeah, right. They absolutely knew because that was designed that way. So this machine comes out, it looks like it was probably built on the cheap. And I say that because now, after having seen the insides of the machine, it's designed the exact same way as the original DreamStation. It looks the exact same. Same motor, same circuit boards. They went back to an old humidifier system that they used to use on the previous System 1, that little eye socket thing. They went back to that after having left it on the original DreamStation. The DreamStation humidifier is actually really nice the way it's set up. Why would you go to the original humidifier system where it had those little eyelets that you have to snap on that break all the time? Why would you go back to that? Why would you also use an LCD screen that's non-color? Every other unit they have was color. DreamStation was color. The OmniLab Advanced, it's an in-lab unit, was color. Why would you go back to a non-color LCD? It's a step back. In some of their own memos to put out to healthcare providers, they mentioned that the volatile organic compounds, the VOCs, that's all the gas that people are breathing in. They said that those are coming off of the sound abatement foam day one, fresh out of the box. They're saying that it's releasing those chemicals, those gases that cause nausea and headaches right out of the box. They're also mentioning, oh, it looks like it might be caused by improper or unapproved, unauthorized cleaning methods. Come on, man. You're using ozone as a red herring to act like that's somehow causing the foam to disintegrate and degrade? Come on. As much as I hate ozone, we all know that's not true. Is the ozone probably breaking down other components of the machine? Yeah, probably, because that stuff is extremely damaging. But is it actually causing the foam to degrade from day one without using it? So my father used the DreamStation, the original DreamStation. This part gets a little personal for me. From day one when he's had it, he said, and I've seen this on the boards, many people complain about it, that metallic electric smell that you'd smell right when you turn on the machine. My dad would get that every time he turned it on. He said he'd lay down, he'd smell that, he'd get a headache, feel nauseous right before he went to sleep, every night. In September of 2020, he had a brain tumor. Was it caused by this? I don't know, but if they say that people are breathing in cancer-causing gases, I tend to think it may have something to do with it. So my dad, like many others, wanted to use an antibacterial filter in line to keep the particulates from getting in. That's great, that will keep the particulates from getting in, but the VOCs, the volatile organic compounds, that stink, the gas, it's not gonna stop that. So can you really safely use it? I don't think so. I certainly wouldn't use it. Now, my dad is lucky in that he has another machine he's able to use that is not affected by this recall. But where does that leave you? I know it's easy to get really mad and upset at the DME. The DME is the company that supplied your machine, to supply your mask cushions, things like that. I would just say, I know it's easy to be mad at them. I would say, don't be mad at them. Be mad at Philips Respironics. They're the ones that your anger should be directed towards. And if you feel like a lawsuit's the right thing to do, then go that direction. The reason I wouldn't take it out in your DME is they didn't know this was coming. They don't have the inventory. Think of how many patients they've had over the years that they have set up with a machine, and now they don't have a lot of machines. ResMed would have to do the heavy lifting and have just a ton of machines in their supply to be able to swap these out with other patients. So I know you probably don't like me saying that. You're like, well, screw them, they should have known. Yes, Philips Respironics should have known. And in the biggest scumbaggy way possible, they tried to come up with a machine to fill that gap. When they said that this machine was gonna fail, this machine is gonna have a recall. Oh, but look, now we magically have this machine. Even though we held the fact that this thing was going to be recalled, I'm guessing for years, go ahead and replace it with this one. Yeah, that's probably not going to happen. But I think that's what they did. That's what they were counting on. So now no one wants to get Respironics machines, and rightly so. So you pretty much are stuck with either a ResMed machine or a Fisher & Paykel sleep style machine. Here's my thoughts on that. I would say go for it. The Fisher & Paykel sleep style, they are now getting Oscar compatibility. They're working on it. I think it's right around the corner. So if you want to get that and use an auto CPAP, go ahead and take the plunge on that. It's a great machine. It has an integrated humidifier. It's a great machine. I really like it. My only thing is I didn't like that it wasn't Oscar compatible. You may not even care about that. The AirSense 10 is a fantastic machine. I really like that also. It's a great way to go. Either of those are good machines. And I'm definitely comfortable in recommending both of those if you can get your hands on them. Now, granted, they're all gonna be sold out. Everyone's trying to clamor for machines. So that's my thoughts on the DMEs. Go easy on them. They were caught off guard just like the rest of us were on this. Really the only one that knew what they were doing is Philips Respironics. They knew there was a problem. And they tried to pass off this cheap crap machine as something that you would gladly go to, since they, in all their glory and all their kindness, let you know that their other machine was probably causing you a nice slow death. The way Respironics handled this with their crappy registration system of a register that your device is affected and we'll get back to you at some point, that's not good enough. That really isn't good enough. I'm not gonna say I know what the solution is, but they should have let people know much sooner. And I think at this point, I would very comfortably say it appears they did know much, much sooner than what they're leading on. But when they try to pass off the DreamStation 2 is a new solution, not affected, the same time they're saying that there's a recall, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it at all. I'm just really disgusted by this whole thing and the way it was handled. And I really feel for all the people out there, all of you guys that are stuck in this situation. So what do you think of this Philips Respironics recall and how they handled it? I'm really curious. I want to know what you think in the comment section down below.
Thank you to all watching, but an extra thick thanks, buddy,
to Ray Troutman, Veronica Young, Sarvesh Joshi, Stuart Hetherington, and Mona Swearingen.
And thank you to my other level Patreon supporters as well as my YouTube members.